Hey guys, this is Doug. Today I'm going to walk you through how I do an electrical diagnosis. We have a 23 Nissan Rogue, and the complaint is a headlight malfunction on the dash. All right, first things first is I'm going to verify the complaint. Okay, warning headlight system error. Next thing I think we're going to do is we're going to fire up the scan tool and we're going to pull the DTCs and see if we have any kind of direction, maybe a clue or something like that. Before I do all of that, I'm going to hook up a battery charger and get a few things set up. All right, today we're going to be using the RD Diag 800 Bluetooth 2. We're going to head and auto vend this sucker. Select our car. Now, I don't expect to find anything, but you never know. So we'll give it a shot. All right. So while that thing is doing its job, we're going to come and look, and we're going to see exactly what's going on. Okay, so the driver's side is actually working, but nothing on the passenger side. If we look closely, we do see some moisture. That could be a telltale sign, but we'll figure it out. All right, so for today's diagnosis, we're going to use a fluke meter, a wiring diagram, a cheap test light that I've made some modifications to, and some Pearson probes, maybe some extenders. So one good thing is we can see if we can try to collect some more data for this. So we have the one headlight, and this is low beam function. Now if I switch to high beams, I'll show you guys that they're actually both working. So left side high beams operational, and the right side high beams operational. This is a really good clue. All right, guys. So we saw that the high beams are actually working. So what that tells us is that we know that this fuse is good, this fuse is good, and we know that the actual high beam itself is able to operate. So I'm not really concerned about this. And as far as the low beam, we know that the left side is actually working. So if we look from here, our power comes from here. So we know that this fuse is good automatically without even having to test, because of the fact that we can see that our high beams are operational and that the driver's side low beam is operational. So now that leaves this fuse in question. We're not worried about this right here, at least not yet. So the easiest thing to do would be to go test fuse 36 and then work our way back. If this fuse has power, then we know that this will be good. Let's see what we can figure out. Side note also, since the ground is shared between the high beam and the low beam, and we know that the ground is potentially more than likely good, but we'll still test that as well. This right here just runs to the instrument cluster to tell us that the lights are on. So we're not worried about that. All right, so right now we have the headlights on with the vehicle powered up. Nissan has made this extremely difficult, more difficult than it has to be to test these fuses, but the one we're looking for is this one right here. These right here are going to be for your high beams, and since they're not on, we're not going to test them because it's just not going to power it up. But if we test here, we have power on this side and power on this side. This right here is for the driver's side, power and power. So everything at the fuse box works. Okay, so since we have power at this fuse, that means that everything back is good. So this is fine, this wire is fine. Now the easiest thing to do now is to go to the actual headlight itself and test for power at pin 1. All right, guys, this is how I have it set up. The red back probe is for your power, and the black one is for the ground. All right, the way that I have this set up is that I'm using these leads that have the ability to back probe here, since it's so tight. Those are actually running to the meter itself, and then we have the meter going to the battery, and then we have our test light hooked to the battery negative. All right, so right now we're seeing that we had 12 volts going to that headlight. I'm going to take the test light. Okay, we're on positive. Check my test light, it's good to go. And really right here, I can check the ground right there. So now I have proven that I have power at the headlight, and I have proven that the ground circuit is good and it can carry a load. So that the way also we can do is to verify that the wire from the fuse box all the way to the headlight itself is good. It doesn't have any kind of high resistance or it can't carry current. We take our test light, we're at battery negative, and if we come to the positive right here, we light our test light. So we know that that wire is fully intact. So we know that this wire is good to go. All right, so we verified that we have power here, and where I'm plugged in is the actual headlight's pigtail. So that means that there shouldn't be an issue at the connector itself because I'm on the other side of it. We also proven out that this ground is good and can carry a load by lighting my test light. We don't have to worry about this pin because we know that the actual high beams work still on the right hand side. So ultimately, the conclusion is that the low beam internally is bad. All right, let's see. Driver works. And now we got our working passenger side. The reason why diagnostics is so important nowadays is that this headlight at the market cost is $1,571. So how confident are you in your diagnostic ability to verify that it indeed needs a almost $1,600 headlight? Okay, so let's recap how we determined that the headlight itself was bad. We started off by verifying that the left side worked, low beam and the high beam. Then we found out that the right hand high beam was operational. So then we went to this fuse. We found that this fuse was good. That means that our wire from here to the relay is good. Also means that our ground is good. We moved to the headlight connector itself and back probed the power feed and the ground feed. We found 12 volts present, and we found that the ground was able to carry current through a test lamp. We didn't have to worry about this because the high beam was operational. So by us finding out that the high beam on the right hand headlight really did help us out. We also found out that this wire from here to here was able to carry current by using a test lamp. So through all those testing methods, I can 100% condemn this headlight.